Okay, so for our next speaker, we've got Terry Charles, please. Sir, if you'd like to answer your question or make a statement.
Just bear with me for a second, please. I've got a bit of a strange one, actually, because a lot of what I've got to say here, I had dialogue with Democratic Services. So I've got a brain injury, so I'll do stuff a little bit. So I'm just going to quote some of the conversations we had with Democratic Services, if that's okay. I'd put in a request to speak, and backwards and forwards emails. I got an email back on Monday. I am pleased to advise you that the Council agrees with you, and one change which has recently been made to the Constitution is that the Chair will have discretion as to the length of time each registered speaker will have. Now, respectfully, I have to question the word discretion here. Would, as I suspect this means, the extra time to speak is permitted? Or would this discretion also mean that if we don't agree with what's being said, that the speaker is asked to stop speaking? Because to me, that's not democracy or freedom of speech. Goes on to say, the Chair will try to ensure each speaker is given a fair time period in which to ask their question or make their statement. And he is likely to remind the speaker to bear in mind that when asking their question. So again, we quote a fair time period. In order to be inclusive, we also need to hear what we don't want to hear. Sometimes in society, we don't like hearing things, and so we shut people down. Very important that we let people hear things, even if we don't like what they say. And as somebody that's mentored young people for 30 years, I can assure you, I've heard a lot of things that I don't like to hear. So we need to take that on board. I go on to say with the email, recent changes have been made to the Constitution to endorse the overriding principle, which is that the Council continues to engage with the public in an open and transparent and safe manner. I think that's fantastic, I really do. The Council does not wish to remove the practice of public speaking, and the changes made enable engagement between the relevant ward member and member of the public to assist them with their inquiry and signpost them to the relevant organisation or body, should it be something which the Council cannot assist with. Again, fantastic in theory, but based on last month's meeting, or September's meeting, I didn't see that happening. So unfortunately, from what I've seen thus far, this excellent West Suffolk Council practice has failed to materialise, which is a great shame, as it would have likely prevented the reported disruption which led to the abandonment of September's West Suffolk Council meeting. I feel we can all learn from the events of that particular meeting and ensure that our concerned constituents are further supported and reached out to by the respective councillors after these meetings. I think we can all learn from that if we're all honest. None of us want that to happen again. So if we at least respect the people that are listening and the people that are talking, respect you guys as well. Because as the email said to me, we're all together on this. We're all on one side. We're all human beings. And we should all be working together, or at least striving to work together. I then went on to say to the lady on the email, can I just ask, the fact that you agree with what I've said in the email, does this mean I can attend and speak on this subject at Tuesday's meeting? The response I got was, that will be a decision for the Chair to make, and we have a briefing on Monday morning for this purpose, after which I will advise you of his decision. I got a response Monday. I have met with the Chair of Council this afternoon and he is satisfied that your question meets the criteria as set down in the Constitution, and you may ask it during the item on public participation at the meeting of Council tomorrow evening. Again, I have to say my overriding concern is that the final decision, and this is all due respect to the Chair, the final decision as to whether I was allowed to speak was ultimately down to satisfying one person, the Chair, as was explained to me via email. No, I think we need to start working together. My opinion might be different to a lot of yours, but we need to respect each other, understand that, and agree to disagree, and maybe work together for the greater good of everybody. I'm nearly finished. There are a growing number of people in the community who have great fears, and I hope I'm able to say this, Chair. There are a growing number of people in the community who have great fears about Agenda 2030 and all that comes with it. Please, could I ask that all councillors here this evening look into Agenda 2030 and to respectfully not follow the government narrative without question.
Mr. Charles, you were doing so well, and that is not what your question was.
Okay.
It's not part of your saying. Please don't bring that up. I'll have to ask you to stop.
Okay, like I said, if it's okay, but I'll stop. Last bit. As I stated the last time I spoke in this chamber, we do owe it to our children and grandchildren to make sure the world we leave behind for them, is the best one possible. I will be around at the end if anyone wants to speak to me. I have also stood as a councillor, so I do understand your positions as well. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Just to say the point of view of what the role of the chair, it is basically to facilitate a smooth meeting, and it runs to our constitution, the rules of our constitution. When I make certain decisions as the chairman or whoever will be in the chair of any committee, basically I take advice from my legal officers, and it's often advice in conjunction with the leader of the council, deputy leader of the council as well. So it isn't just myself not listening to anybody else. I listen to other views as well. And then, yes, ultimately, it is the decision of myself. But I don't take any decisions out lightly or on my own. I do it in the proper way. I've been a councillor for 18 years. And I know I have no single power at all. I'm just part of a group. But there's someone that sometimes has to make that final decision, and that is the role I've been given. Okay, thank you, sir.
Could I just respond to that, Roger, please? It's not an argument. It's just that it wasn't explained to me in the email. So I do apologise. All I was saying is that the email I got was the chair will make a decision. So you've answered that question. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Kelly, did you want to bring anything up regarding what the gentleman has been speaking about? No, it's okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Charles.